lead me up to getting your real estate license. What made you, get your real estate license? Kind of lead me up to that point.
So with the work I did with so many different financial institutions, particularly with the U.S. Treasury and servicing with E-Trade, I literally had friends all around the country. Um, the job market wasn't super great at that moment, but it was fine. I could have easily landed something if I wanted to get on an airplane.
Sure.
I could have easily landed something if I wanted to move again. There were some things in Columbus, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And my daughter had just graduated from college, and I had purchased a house. She was living in one of my houses, and so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go live in that house and figure some things out. And that's when I got bored. But long story short, I bought a house at I was like, I'll just fix up an old house. This will be something fun to do. Let me just renovate a house. And so I bought a house from a sheriff's auction here in Columbus. My friends thought I was crazy. We have videos of us like axing down the door to go in and see if there's any bodies, what was going on. So I bought that house, and I was like, this could be fun to fix it up. Um, I'm like, I don't really want to go back to work yet. I don't want to go back to a regular job. I could get a real. I've been around. I mean, this is, at this point, I was literally like 23 years in the real estate. I mean, in housing.
Sure. Sure.
Not selling real estate. But I'm like, let me get a real estate license. That's pretty easy, and let's see if I can make something work of it. So I did. I had my license with a big box broker. Um, it was fine. I only sold 16 houses my first year, and I got my license in the end of 2015. And
Okay.
I had this like glorified. I'll work on my house 3 days a week. I'll prospect a day a week. If I sell a few houses, it'll be fine. Um, I sold 16 houses in 2016, which isn't very
That's
many.
awesome.
It's not bad for the first year. I,
No, not at all.
it wasn't super, super successful, but I knew that I loved it. I knew that it was something I could do where I wasn't just managing people, or I wasn't
Mhm.
just making a decision in a room somewhere, where I could actually be involved. The other thing I did, I volunteered for everything. Like, I became the president of my civic association. I was volunteering with Columbus Landmarks Foundation. I was just like everything and anything, every community organization. I just spent all my time going to, um, and doing those kinds of things, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It gave me marketing material inadvertently. It
Yeah.
gave me exposure to people. It built my network, and by the end of that first year, I had decided that I wanted to own my own company. I didn't really like working for a big box broker.
Sure.
Nothing wrong with them, but
Sure.
after coming out of like these big corporate organizations, I really wanted to get back to like something that was just me. And at the time, I wanted the Columbus Idea Foundry was just opening their co-working spots and their private offices on the second floor in 2017, and I wanted to have a team office down here, and it really didn't fit the business model that I was in, and that wasn't really viable. And
Yep.
so I found a different broker who would. I interviewed several. I was like, "Hey, this is what I want to do. This is my business plan. I'm going to start. I have to have 24 months of sales history to get a broker's license, and that's going to be 2017. And then in 2018, I'm going to start my own company."
Yeah.
And they all looked at me like, "You've sold 16 houses, and you're going to do what?" I'm like, that's the plan. That's the plan. And so
What
I did.
what I'm just curious, what made you, because like I said in the beginning, like I believe that there's not one path to success in this business, right? Like I got into the business and I cut my teeth on calling internet leads and working with investors and selling off REOs. That was how I got started. What made you decide maybe this wasn't conscious, but what made you say, "Hey, I'm going to just start volunteering for everything? And was that part of the game plan to build your real estate business?
It was part of the game plan to build my life. It was to build my life back to what I wanted it to be. Um, that's the primary reason for doing those things. I was spending time with my partner, spending time with my friends. It was stuff that I hadn't been doing for a long time. But the reality is, real estate is a relationship based business. People do business with people they understand and know and relate to. And, if you try to fabricate, there's lots of strategies. You can buy
Sure.
leads. I've purchased leads. That's been successful. There's different things you can do to generate business. But I think ultimately, if you want to build a brand, and if you want to build if you want to build something that doesn't feel like work, you need to have fun doing it. And so if I'm going to use Columbus Landmarks Foundation.
Sure.
I'll just put a plug out there. I am on the board now. I've been volunteering there since 2015, and I'm going to use that as an example.
Yeah.
They used to have Monday night art walks and landmark talks. Every single Monday night, we would go on a walk and we would meet people and we would do things. The next year, we did the same thing, and we were members. We would go to events and whatnot. I think it was by the end of the second year, I was actually leading some of those talks, which was kind of interesting. I was asked if I was interested in participating in committees or something, and I was like, no, not yet. I don't know. I'm doing too many things. And then I got on the Preservation Services Committee, where we helped identify architectural resources for folks who have. We didn't do the plans and things like that, but we would help connect them with contractors and people who wanted to do historically relevant renovations. For example, what is my porch is missing on my old house? What would have been there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some people who are in historic districts have to, but some people who are not want to, and they don't know where to start. So this sounds completely unrelated, but I love that stuff, right? I love architecture. I love the design of it. I love the history of it. I love the context of the places that are made within our cities. And so I legitimately have fun doing that kind of stuff. And so if I'm having fun, these people that I'm volunteering with see that I'm passionate about the same things they're passionate about. We become friends. When there's that saying, like, don't do business with friends. If you do business well and you're a professional, you have no reason not to do business with your friends, because they can trust you. You can be their advocate, and it's going to go great. If you're not great at what you do, then don't do business. You're going to ruin your friendships.
I love it because, that's what, I tell agents about. Yeah, you can door knock. Yeah, you can do direct mail. Yes, you can do internet leads. Yes, you can do networking events. Yes, you can do seminars. It doesn't matter to me. I think the one thing that matters is if you show up and you're consistent with it. And I find that people are more consistent when they pick something or a couple things that they enjoy doing, like what you just said. You enjoyed those things. And that works for someone like you. And it may not work for someone like me, and it may not work for the next agent. But if you find or can turn some of your passions and your hobbies and some of those things and combined real estate with it, because I believe that there's a lot of ways we can introduce real estate into some of these things. Like, I don't have to be puking real estate on everyone every single day. They're going to, especially with technology and social media, they're going to see what I'm doing, right? But like you said, people do business with people that they understand, that they know, like, and trust. And if that one thing is the connector to you and this other community of people, where you're in alignment around this hobby or passion or whatever it is, then it's just all coming down to, do they see you as the trusted advisor when it comes to real estate?
And I would never walk into a room and tell people I was a realtor or a broker or any. I don't wear the big realtor pin to go volunteer. I think people get put off by the hard sell.
Yeah.
if people like you, they're going to figure out who you are and what you do. It's going to come up in conversation. It's casual. Um, we're to your point, we're in a land of technology where everyone uses those technology resources for a big part of anything they do in their life.
Yeah.
But when they realize they need a partner and they see you happy and enjoying yourself in whatever it is, it works out. In my all of the agents in my company have something. I've said we have to give back. We have to. I used to volunteer for lots and lots of things, and now every year I make a list. Like, these are the 3 things I'm going to give money to, that I'm going to give time to, that I'm going to really focus on. So my contribution is a little more substantial and meaningful. And almost all my agents have a charity or a nonprofit or an organization that they spend time and money promoting. I just think it's important to be thoughtful about that and not
Yeah.
do it because, like, oh, I want people to know that we give money to things. That's
Right.
not great. It's because we are fortunate to have this career, and we are fortunate to be part of a community, and it is part of our whole selves. And I love that.
No, I mean, that's awesome. I want to kind of go back to getting your license and, making that decision. Did you have a lot of supporters, a lot of doubters? Again, you're going from this career, and this trajectory where, salary, steady job, all of those things, to now 100% unknown, and commission based. Supporters, doubters, kind of where did people land with you?
I can people my friends thought I was crazy. Like, my friends thought, why aren't you have an MBA, you have all of this experience, why don't you go get a regular job? Well, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
um, I didn't want to do it. And my I think people trusted that I would figure it out. I had a few friends who, my true friends, my close, tight friends, were like, you can be successful at anything if you put your mind to it. Like, we got
Sure.
you. You've got this, right? I think it was the people on the fringe who were like, how are you going to pay your bills?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, if you aren't, I mean, this is a real estate podcast for people who are in real estate. This is not a surprise. You really have to have a little bit of a savings or a cushion or a partner or a plan to pay those bills, because you don't make any money in your first year or two of real estate. Not
Yeah.
not not if you're doing ethical things and building a real brand for yourself and a real career. It just takes time. You can be
Yeah.
really good at what you do. And I got my license the end of November. Is that right? In 2015. My first sale wasn't, I did 16 in sales in 2016, but the first one wasn't until the first closing wasn't until April.
Yeah.
Took a couple months to figure out my marketing and my branding, and to, figure out how to write a contract, and
Right.
then get some buyers looking. And it took some time.
Yeah. And
And
I think that's what a lot of people miss. What's the right word? They misjudge. I always tell people, like, this isn't the get rich quick. Like, it's not the social media success. It's a grind, and you have to decide what sacrifices you're willing to make to get there. And sometimes that's not hanging out, with your friends. Sometimes that's working during holidays, and your family's upset. And sometimes it's, your spouse or significant other, coming home at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and then still having to write 2 offers because, your 2 clients that night wanted to write, write offers. And, I mean, you're spot on, but if you do it the right way and you build it, it can be such an amazing business to be a part of.